Welcome to my Tomb Raider Remastered achievement guide. This guide is for Tomb Raider I Deadline, which is the achievement that requires you to die in all 36 ways, and only in Tomb Raider I. This was a really annoying one for me to try and figure out, so I've compiled all of the deaths that worked for me to uniquely add up to 36 and give me the achievement, and I'll go through them here in roughly chronological order. As an added note, there seems to be a few different types of deaths that you can do. The first type is basically a general death, one that you can do anywhere in any level basically. And then the next is death by enemy. Almost every single enemy counts as a different death if you die to them. And then the third one are unique deaths, deaths that you can only do in one place or level at a time. And so I'll have a list of these in the description, but I'll go through them now with video to showcase them all. First up, chronologically, is death by dart. Right at the start of caves, we can start the game and head up over to these darts and get hit by them and die. And one trick is if you move backwards at about the same time the dart fires, you can keep taking damage that whole way back and die quicker. Next up is death by Swandive. This is a general death, we can do this anywhere. And we can actually go up and do it right here near the start of caves. So if you just do a swan dive off this platform up here, you can easily get far enough distance to fall and die. And now, interestingly enough, swan diving and just normal fall damage are two different modes of death. So normal fall damage is another general one. You can do this anywhere. I just took some damage and went over a little further in caves and took some fall damage here. So that will be the third death, different from a swan dive. Now here, near the start of caves, you run into your first enemies, which count as their own death, an enemy death. So just stand there and let the bats kill you. Bats are throughout a lot of the run, but right at the start of caves, quite easy. Now as we move a little farther into caves, we can head into the bridge room and encounter our first wolves. You can just go down here and let the wolves kill you, and that will be the death by wolf. And now, heading into the next room after the bridge room with the wolves, we can drop down into the pit, and there is the first bear in the game, and we can get death by bear just down here by letting him kill us. This is another general death, and you can do it right at the start of City of Vilcabamba, which is death by drowning. Just go and sit in water for a minute or so and let her die. So let's speed right through this. Here's another death that you can do throughout most of the game in a lot of levels, which is death by swinging axe. First time is here in Vilca after opening this main door. Just get sliced in half by it. Alright, next up is another enemy death. This one is death by Velociraptor. So just head into Lost Valley right at the start here, and you got two raptors that will easily attack you. You can also do this in Tomb of Qualopec, but that's about it for where the raptors are. Now here's another one, another enemy death, which I guess is also a unique death, but I'm calling it an enemy death, is death by T-Rex. You can just go and jump right in his mouth and he'll kill you. And to my knowledge, there is no difference between this and just getting normally trampled by him without the eating animation. Okay, now we move into Tomb of Qualopec, where we have another general death, where you can get rolled over by a boulder. Very easy in Tomb of Qualopec. Here's another general one, which is death by spikes. You can find spikes all throughout the game, all the way up to the last level. And I believe the first instance of them is in Qualopec, so I just show it off here for chronological order. Now here I believe to be actually a unique death, because I don't believe there's falling tiles anywhere else in the game, but in Qualopec, after getting the ski on, come out here and get crushed by falling tiles. I'm not sure if this is anywhere else you can do in this game.
And next up is Death by Larson. Just let him shoot you as you stand there, and this counts. And that brings us into the grease levels, which our first death in here can be Death by Lions, right at the start of St. Francis Folly. We have 2 lions that will kill us. And up next we have Death by Gorilla, which is just in this next room here. There's a couple gorillas first of the game, and we can just let them kill us for another death. After that, we can get shot and die to Pierre, just like with Larson. Stand in front of him, let him shoot you, and die. As you continue in Folly and go down this little thing, we can go into the water, and there will be a crocodile for us to get killed by, another enemy death. Here's another unique achievement. Folly has a couple of them, and this is to get killed by Damocles' Sword. So as we can see, we can just get stabbed by a sword, and this counts as its own death. Here's another unique death in Folly, which is Thor's lightning. So just jump underneath the lightning ball there and get shocked. Okay, here's another Folly unique death, which again is Thor, but this time get crushed by his hammer. Okay, so now here's another weird one. We can dive via fire, but I believe later in the game you see lava just like this, and I believe these count as the same death, same as the Embers. If the Embers kill you, that jump out of the fire. After I got the death by fire here in Midas, none of those other lava or Ember ones increased the count for me. And now here's another unique death, which is turning Lara to gold, the classic way to die. You can do that right here in Palace Midas, of course. And now here's another big general death, which is death by Cling Clang doors. These are classic in Tomb Raider, and I think one of the first times you can see them. I'm not sure if there's one earlier, but here in Palace Midas at the secret, you can go and get chomped by one of these Cling Clang doors. And now we can head into the next level, Cistern, where there's a good chunk of rats in this level, and we can just let these rats bite at us. Might take a bit. There are some rats in Midas, but I feel like Cistern is a little better because we got 3 rats on land right here. And then at the end of Greece, we can die by a centaur. This is no different from dying from a centaur in Egypt or in Atlantis. A centaur death is a centaur death. And now as we move into Egypt, we have a new death, new enemy to kill us, which is the panther. And now we get to the mummy, or the Egyptian mummy, but I also say / mutant, because if we look at the sanctuary in this little video, these guys look entirely different. They're like mutants, not mummies. But when I got killed by them, my count did not go up. So I believe the Egyptian mummy, or mutant, whatever you want to call them, even though they look different, are the exact same kill. So this mummy is the same kill as those mutants at the start of Sanctuary, although they are not the same kill as the mutants that look the same in Atlantis. We have another weird enemy, which is the flying mutant in Sanctuary. This brings up the count, but weirdly enough in Atlantis, in one of those flying mutants in Atlantis, that does not raise the count. So they're not different, but like I said before, the normal mutants that don't fly are different between Egypt and Atlantis. So I'm not sure what's going on there. We have another enemy death, which is also unique here in Natla's Mines, which is the cowboy. And right after the cowboy, we have the skater boy here to get killed by as well. And then finally, the last enemy in Natla's Mines is Baldy, or the Bald Enemy. And like I said before, the death by Egyptian mummy / mutant is different from these ones in Atlantis. So this mutant right here, this Atlantean mutant, is a new kill. And now we have another unique death, this one near the end of Atlantis, which is a doppelganger. Shoot your doppelganger and they will shoot back and you will die. And then our second to last death is the mutant boss, or Torso. Let him kill you and throw you around like a toy, and we only need one more death. And of course, our final death is death by Natla. And so this will round out all 36 ways to die, mostly just from different enemies. And yeah, I hope this helped you get this achievement. This is kind of an annoying one to get. If you had any problems and you went through all these deaths that I showed and you didn't get it, maybe tell me, leave a comment, and if I figure out there's anything wrong with this video, I'll put it in the description, so watch out for that. Thank you for watching.